from a bomb cyclone in the northwest to a powerful storm moving over the Great Lakes, large parts of the United States were paralyzed by severe weather just ahead of Thanksgiving, and travel issues were expected to continue into the holiday weekend. Two separate storm systems choked transportation across the center of the nation, bringing 40 inches of snow in some areas. The storms caused the cancellation of hundreds of flights and the delay of thousands more. While the storms were weakening and expected to drop less snow on Thursday, the weather systems would be in a very active mode going into the Thanksgiving holiday and the weekend, the National Weather Service said Wednesday night. The storm that caused heavy snow from the central Rockies to the Great Lakes would bring rain and snow to northern New York State and New England on Wednesday night into Thanksgiving Day, the Weather Service said, though the snowfall would not be as heavy as it was in the Midwest. The agency said 4 to 6 inches of snow were possible in northern New Hampshire and northern Maine. The high winds in the Midwest would also be moving east. It would likely be very windy on Thanksgiving across much of the Northeast, the service said. The low-pressure system in the west moved inland on Wednesday, and would likely bring 1 to 2 feet of snow to areas of southern California, Nevada, Arizona, and the Wasatch and northern Rockies. Widespread winter weather, flash flood, and wind watches, warnings and advisories are currently in effect from the National Weather Service across large portions of the nation, the Weather Service said on Wednesday night. Transcript: It's going to be bad. The snow is going to come down hard. It's going to come down fast. Visibility will be very, very poor. More than 55 million people were expected to fly or drive out of town during one of the busiest travel weeks of the year. At least, that's how many had hoped to. Plan for plenty of extra time, said Brian Hurley, a forecaster at the Weather Prediction Center in College Park, MD. The Twin Cities saw a new daily snowfall record set on Wednesday, with more than 9 inches at the Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, the Weather Service in the Twin Cities announced. The previous record, of nearly 5 inches, was set in 1983. The winter storm arrived as a fire broke out at an apartment building in Minneapolis that killed at least 5 people and displaced many other residents. The Midwestern storm system was moving through the Great Lakes on Wednesday, and expected to cause around 6 inches of snow in surrounding areas. Then it will head toward central Maine, Mr. Hurley said. Parts of the upper Midwest and Chicago were likely to see high winds and a cold front, he said. There will be partially clear skies overnight in the Twin Cities, which will give way to patchy clouds and sunshine in the morning, Tyler Hassenstein, a meteorologist for the Weather Service, said Wednesday afternoon. The high will be about 30 degrees, but there will be a slight chance of snow later in the day. Otherwise, looking very benign for a Thanksgiving day, he said. Heavy snows and whipping winds hit the Northwest overnight, in what the National Weather Service called a historic, unprecedented storm, unlike any that had hit the region since the 1960s. It was believed it would qualify as a bomb cyclone, a designation given when barometric pressure drops by at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. Winds reached 106 mph on Tuesday near Cape Blanco, Oregon, with sustained winds of 85 mph, exceeding the 74 mph definition of hurricane force. Travelers were encouraged to stay off the roads, with as much as a foot of snow blanketing northern California and Oregon. The storm weakened as it moved over central Oregon on Wednesday, Mr. Hurley said. It had left several feet of snow in mountainous areas, and could bring an additional few inches to parts of Utah, Nevada, and Idaho, that don't normally see much snow, he added. The thing about this storm is it's got such a broad reach, he said. Denver International Airport returned to normal on Wednesday morning after heavy snowfall in the area on Monday and Tuesday. Today will be a busy day at Den, the airport said on Twitter, directing travelers to arrive 2 hours before their flights. The airport received 9.5 inches of snow and saw at least 463 flight cancellations on Tuesday. The storm made for Denver's snowiest November day since 1994, according to the National Weather Service. Colorado saw a wide range of snowfall totals from the storm. The town of Drake, about 30 miles north of Boulder, saw 40 inches of snow, while Bayfield, in the state's southwest, saw just 1 inch, according to the Weather Service. While parts of the country were battling rain and snow, tornadoes touched down in Mississippi and Louisiana on Tuesday night, according to Alan Campbell, a meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Jackson, Miss. At least 2 tornadoes hit the Franklin and Madison parishes of Louisiana and 2 more hit in Rankin County, Miss. Mr. Campbell said on Wednesday. There were no deaths or injuries reported in any of the areas affected by tornadoes as of Wednesday night. There were reports of downed trees, downed power lines and damaged homes in some areas, he said, but that the worst of the weather might have passed. Mr. Campbell said he did not expect to see any more tornado activity as people begin traveling Wednesday. High winds in Missouri and Illinois led to power failures for about 13,000 people, according to a local news report and a Wednesday morning report by Ameren, an electrical company servicing the area. The National Weather Service in Weldon Spring, MO, issued a high wind warning Wednesday afternoon. Winds were expected around 30 mph, with gusts of up to 60 mph, threatening to bring down trees and power lines. Winds led to at least 1 injury in Chicago, where a wooden sign blew off scaffolding at Willis Tower on Wednesday morning and hit 2 vehicles, smashing the windshield of a cab and injuring its driver, the Associated Press reported. Showers and thunderstorms were expected from the southeast to the mid-Atlantic on Wednesday, with heavy snow expected in northern New England and parts of Maine later in the week. Winds of 30 mph or more were expected in Boston and other areas of New England, and rain and snow were likely to increase in the evening. High winds could put Thanksgiving parades at risk, including the annual Macy's Parade in New York City. City regulations forbid the famous mega-sized balloons from flying when there are sustained winds above 23 mph or gusts above 34 mph. Mr. Hurley said the latest forecast showed that wind gusts in New York City on Thursday could go up to 40 mph, with sustained winds in the 15 to 25 mph range. Liam Stack contributed reporting.